Empty vessels and empty homes. This phrase perfectly captures a growing crisis on Martha's Vineyard. It's a stark image that compels us to look closer at an issue many residents face but few fully grasp: housing insecurity. But here's where it gets controversial. What does it really mean when thousands of homes sit empty on an island grappling with a severe housing shortage? In a unique collaboration, the Martha's Vineyard Times is sharing a series of stories alongside an art exhibit created by Martha's Vineyard potter Victoria Wolf. This exhibit highlights the harsh reality of housing instability experienced by many islanders, aiming to bring this invisible struggle into the public eye. Victoria Wolf's entire creative journey is rooted in the simple but powerful metaphor of an empty vessel. As a potter, she explains it with clarity. Shaping a cup gives the clay its form, but never fills its hollow interior. Similarly, a house is just a shell. It only becomes a home when someone fills it with life and belonging. On Martha's Vineyard, the Martha's Vineyard Commission reports, there are over 10,500 homes deemed vacant, meaning they're occupied for less than 2 months each year, because the owners live permanently somewhere else. That's a staggering 60% of homes on the island sitting mostly empty. Wolf chose this empty vessel metaphor to physically represent these numbers through her art. From her West Tisbury apartment, which doubles as her pottery studio, she crafts clay cups of all colors and sizes, each symbolizing this crisis. These cups will be the centerpiece of her new exhibit, Show Me the Way to Go Home, opening September 12th at the workshop in Vineyard Haven. In total, she is creating 1,057 cups, with each cup representing 10 vacant homes, giving a tangible shape to abstract statistics. But what makes Wolf's exhibit truly compelling is how she gives each cup its own story and character. The glazes she uses are not random. They reflect her deeply personal experiences and connections to each town on the island. For example, the brass shavings integrated into the glazes for Oak Bluffs echo the town's famous carousel. She sourced scallop shells from Vineyard Haven beaches for the Tisbury cups and uses cedar ash and forest-inspired glazes for West Tisbury. This process has taken her months of experimentation. Each glaze carries symbolism tied to the distinct cultures and histories of these communities. 1 cup equals 10 houses, Wolf emphasizes. I can name 10 people right now who are part of this community, who contribute to it, who face not just housing insecurity, but outright fear about their housing situation. It's a housing nightmare. Half the proceeds from the exhibit will support Harbor Homes, the organization assisting more than 340 local residents currently without shelter. The exhibit also features work from 13 other island artists, including Colin Rule, Rob Chance, Jack Sipperly, Emma Young, and Micah Thanhauser, all responding to the theme home in their own creative ways. Wolf's journey to this project is as intriguing as her art. Before settling on Martha's Vineyard, she lived in New York City and worked in real estate during the national housing crisis. Witnessing the harsh realities of profit-driven housing impacted her deeply. Working with people on Section 8 vouchers, low-income families, and single mothers, she encountered constant barriers. Despite opening doors to numerous vacant rentals, she seldom succeeded in finding stable housing for clients. I couldn't get a single person into an apartment, she recalls. It was heartbreaking. Her move to the vineyard in 2018, alongside her then-partner, brought a reconnection to nature and the coastal landscape. Growing up on Cape Cod, she was drawn to the ocean and agriculture, but it was a walk on a secluded beach near Brickyard that left a lasting impression. As she stepped into the waves and felt clay beneath her feet, a profound realization struck. She had forgotten that clay itself comes from the earth. This powerful moment inspired her to dive into pottery, teaching herself through YouTube and practice. She began working with clay about this time and slowly mastered her craft. Beyond making beautiful ceramics, she wanted her art to address urgent community issues, starting with housing. For each town, Wolf crafted cups that allude to local stories and natural elements. Oak Bluffs cups, for example, contain green oxidized brass from local machinist Carter Payne, reminiscent of her childhood memories on a family boat dropping anchor near the Oak Bluffs Harbor carousel. Tisbury's 146 cups hold scallop shell imprints and cobalt blue shades reflective of its shell fishing and sailing heritage. West Tisbury's glazes evoke forest hues through cedar ash, while Chilmark's cups incorporate actual clay found after storms at Lucy Vincent Beach, connecting the land's physical history with the housing issue. When it came to Edgartown, Wolfe faced a creative challenge. "I don't have a great relationship with Edgartown," she admits, reflecting on the seasonal influx that highlights significant disparities in island life. She settled on a striking bone ash glaze, symbolizing death and remembrance, inspired by the town's widows' walks, places where women historically awaited husbands at sea, and Native American burial grounds nearby. Painted on 367 cups, this choice brings a haunting depth to the conversation about housing invisibility in Edgartown. Up Island Aquina, known for its sacred clay cliffs protected by federal and tribal laws, inspired a different approach. Unable to use the local clay in respect for the Wampanoag tribe's traditions, Wolfe created a series of 32 cups glazed to imitate the look of wampum beads, symbols with deep cultural significance and a personal connection to her childhood. Reflecting on her past, Wolfe contrasts her city gardening experience, where pots were swapped out rather than nurtured, against vineyard practices rooted in respect for the soil and seasons. This analogy extends to housing. Just as neglecting a garden's needs threatens its ecosystem, the island's scarcity of housing is eroding the community's vitality. More islanders are leaving due to the lack of affordable housing, threatening to unravel the very fabric that makes Martha's Vineyard special. And here's the part most people miss. It's not just about losing year-round residents. If we lose the summer visitors, that affects us all, Wolfe says. But if we lose the essential workers, the doctors, firefighters, farmers, artists, why would anyone want to come here at all? Show Me the Way Home runs from September 12th to September 30th, with an opening reception at the workshop from 5 to 9 p.m. It's an emotional and eye-opening invitation to confront a crisis hidden in plain sight. Now we ask, is keeping homes vacant for profit worth the cost of losing our community? What does home truly mean in a place as precious as Martha's Vineyard? We'd love to hear your thoughts.